All right, everybody. 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins here. Tuesday, Labor Day behind us. Statistical peak of hurricane season coming up on September 10th. That's a Saturday. And boy, oh boy, do we have what could be a big storm taking shape here in the form of this, what you're seeing right here. That is Tropical Depression 13, formed at 11 o'clock this morning. Before we get to there, there's a wave coming off of Africa. That has about a 30 to 70% chance of developing. Even if it does develop, looks like it will recurve kind of near the area where you see the Tropical Depression 13 box there. And then you've got this thing way up here in the right-hand corner, and that's a 20% chance of that thing drifting southeast and developing. So don't worry about that. And I really wouldn't worry too much about the one coming off of Africa either. The other one we got to watch. So let's talk a bit about that. You can see right now that the track, I put the cone on there for you. You can see it's moving off to the west-northwest there. Decent-looking rotation, obviously, now. Winds at 35 miles per hour. It's moving to the west-northwest at 15, and pressure's 1,008, and that's really going to be dropping, we think, here. So far, it's a relatively small system, but it's just getting started. Here's the forecast track as of 11 o'clock this morning from the Hurricane Center, and look at this. This is advisory number 1, and they've got Cat 4 140-mile-per-hour winds northeast of San Juan. All right, looks like most of it will stay far enough offshore, but I want you to remember this cone is not where the weather will be. The cone is where this center could be. The center could be all the way down here based on statistical error over the last 5 years, or it could be way up here. So when you get out here towards San Juan, you know, the error track forecast from the Hurricane Center in the last 5 years has been off this much. So by two-thirds of that, right? So basically the center could be falling anywhere in here. We think that's a pretty good track right there in the center. I think most of it will go to the north of the island, right? Timing on that is this weekend. So if you've got interest in the islands, including St. Martin, those areas, and of course, Puerto Rico, anything they're going to be doing prep-wise, have it done by Friday. Because you can see Friday night, 130-mile-per-hour winds getting ready to pass by the islands there. Hopefully far enough to the north. It looks like this track will take. And then Friday night and Saturday, it'll start to move a little more northwest. So lots of agreement with the models here. You can see all in this area right in here, and then they start to diverge a little bit. Some trying to take it up to Bermuda, which is the M in Bermuda. Some come a little bit further to the west, but a lot of them are seeing this curve. Most of them are seeing a curve somewhere up here between the Carolinas and Bermuda. All right, now here's the European model. This has done pretty good this year so far. It handled Idalia really well. This is a look through Saturday night into Sunday. And there it is, just northeast of the islands. Right now, watch what happens. Especially after that time, it really starts to ramp this thing up. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's what you're looking at here, Tuesday. East of the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos down there on the southern end there. And then, look at that turn to the north. All right? And this is the latest runs just coming out right now. But that takes it close to Bermuda. All right? GFS model. GFS, very similar. Look at this. I jumped ahead to Sunday. There it is. You can see, yeah, pretty close to the island. So you get a little brush there. But then it really bombs this thing out, takes it up near Bermuda. I mean, look how close that is off the east coast of North Carolina. So you want to watch this. My rule is 5 to 7 days. You're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable, especially in a situation like this. And we're not there yet, right? This is Wednesday, so we're now 7 to 8 days, almost 9 days. Okay, so got to keep an eye on this one. Florida, I'm talking to you too, but again, a lot of the modeling is suggesting a curve. Look at that, it gets interesting. This is a week and a half away. Now, this is way out in time, so before you people in New England start freaking out about this, let's just wait and see, okay? This is way in that window where we don't really have very good data here that support the accuracy of this, okay? So that's that right there, and then it moves on out. All right, now let's talk wind shear. So I'm going to take this out. This is the European model for wind shear. I'm going to take this out with the track from the Hurricane Center. And you see all the wind shear that's up there off the Carolinas and near Bermuda. Nothing really affecting the storm. And that's why we think it's going to get really big. This is through Sunday afternoon. Now, the forecast doesn't go out any further than that, but you see the white lines down here? These are the lines of pressure. See that right there? And the European says after this part, where the Hurricane Center already has as a Cat 4. The Hurricane Center thinks it gets there a little bit quicker and it maintains, if not gets even stronger out here. right? But look at all this wind shear. There's a big trough coming down here, dip in the jet stream, and that's going to help pick this thing up, we think. And that's what all the models are suggesting. So now look, this is Tuesday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or so. This right here is a great big wall, hopefully protecting the eastern half of the United States, including Florida. Anything that drifts over in here is going to get kind of sheared apart, and you're going to see a lot of it get blown off to the north and the east, right? A lot of that storm is going to be blown like that. But this is Bermuda. So Bermuda right now, even if it went to your west, you're still getting some weather from this, all right? And that's basically the area to watch. Let's come over here. Let me switch it up a little bit. Give me a second here. Let's go to models only. Can you see that? Can you see that? There we go. That'll be a little bit better view of it. Global models there, right? This is European models. Well, kind of. I'm part of the GFS ensembles here. So you're seeing almost all of them do this recurve. Do you see this recurve here? Pressure down to 990, 994. I mean, this seems like a high pressure to me. It should be lower than that. 969. This is more like it. 956, 956. Yeah, that's a strong system there. Look at the intensity guidance here. Wow. I mean, the water's really warm out ahead of it. It's above average. There's really no shear out there. There's a lot of moisture out there. So there's nothing to slow this thing down. And you can see quickly, 24 hours from now, we'll probably have Tropical Storm Lee tonight. But Lee, L-E-E is the next name on the list. But look at this jump from Cat 1 all the way up to Cat 4 from about 36 hours to 96 hours. So 2.5 days, right? It looks like it wants to jump. Here is the European model. Again, you're looking down here at the bottom of the screen here. You can see it move up. Let me make sure you're getting this. Yeah. There it is. This, by the way, is 8 p.m. on Saturday. There's Puerto Rico. You can see Puerto Rico right here. So it's moving by. Most of the weather stays out of there. That's good. Swell? Absolutely. Everybody gets swell if this course happens. Now, it slows it down as we get into Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday, and then it starts to turn. And that's sometimes pretty typical of something that turns. But what we're watching is this right in here. You see, there's a low sitting here. There's a front coming through right here, right? And that is what takes these things and picks them up and swoops them out, hopefully, right? And just about all of the models. This is the European model. This is the GFS model. Let me go out in time. There it is near Puerto Rico right there, right? Slows it down. And then it starts that turn to the north as well, too. Come on. Losing data. I guess we're just getting the data in. But either way, especially if you're watching from Florida, you see that this is already way out here, and it's already Fort Lauderdale latitude at least. So the further north that goes at that point, unless it were to do something, sometimes we've seen storms come up and then miss and come under. I don't think that's going to happen in this one. This one looks like it's likely to get picked up. Look what's happening here. Here's our low form. Oh, man, what happened there? Oh, okay. It finally gave me the data I was looking for. Here we go, back up. So here comes our front. The low is sitting there north of the Great Lakes. This is a frontal boundary. All that green you see from New York all the way down to the mountains, North Carolina, South Carolina, that's a front. So that'll help try and pick this up. GFS wants to get close to the Carolinas. And then the latest run wants to take it right up over New England. I won't bother to show you that one. But this has to be watched, and especially you're going to see a lot about this on, well, what? I guess East Coast people are going to be watching this very closely and should do that for the next week or so. Here's a closer look at it. You can see some pretty good convection down in there as well, too. These are the tracks from the Hurricane Center, by the way, and then there's some models on here. Their forecast Cat 4. There's some models say it's already a Cat 4. So, and then there's the other one, by the way, that kind of spreads out. So this is going to be Hurricane Lee. Looks like keep watching the videos, keep watching the forecast. Things are going to change just a little bit. Hopefully the trends, at least for Florida, right, and the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos, hopefully now that turn will be what's happening. But again, we're still on that window where we're a little bit far out to be accurate on that. Looks good so far. Let's hope that it sticks that way. All right, guys, thanks for watching.